San Antonio's new home scene is absolutely exploding right now. We're only halfway through 2025, and I've already spotted over 30 new neighborhoods breaking ground. But here's the thing, I'm cutting through all the noise and I'm gonna give you the 9 most game-changing developments that have either just started selling or are launching soon. We're talking sprawling estates, affordable gems in New Braunfels' hottest master plan community, and everything in between. So if you've been planning your move to San Antonio or just want that brand new home experience, this is gonna be your insider guide to the best opportunities before everyone else catches on. All right, first up, we're diving into a community that has been years in the making. Let's take a look at what's happening at Briggs Ranch, a golf course community on San Antonio's far west side that's bringing a few new phases. We're looking at over 800 acres currently under development with 2,000 single family homes planned, with the first expected to hit the market later this year. Now for the builders, some big names have already confirmed. We have David Weekley, Perry Homes, Highland Homes, and Toll Brothers confirmed. There's also a really good chance that Chestmar Homes joins in future phases. They still own a large amount of land nearby and actually recently started developing that land. Chestmar has not yet subdivided the land into individual lots, so I'm not quite sure which product they're gonna actually bring in this community, but I would absolutely love to see at least 70-foot wide lots. And from the drone shots, it looks like that might be the case, but we'll have to wait and see to be sure. The awesome thing about all these builders, they generally let you build from the ground up, which means you'll have a lot of flexibility with floor plans and features, but they all do still have inventory homes if you're looking for something a little bit quicker. Lot sizes for most of the builders are going to be between 45 and 50-foot options, and the prices will vary. Here's kind of what we're expecting. Toll Brothers will likely be the high tier with starting prices in the mid 400s, that 450 range or so, but most of their homes will range probably between 5 and 600,000 after all the options that they add into their properties. Perry and Highland are expected to start a little bit lower in the low 400s, probably just over 400,000, but most of their homes will probably end up being in the 480 to like 580 range, just depending on exactly what options you put in. And David Weekley looks like they're gonna probably come in around the high 300,000s just based on the neighborhood across the street, Ladera. They already sell in there and they have very similar lots. So safe to say that they're probably gonna have very similar pricing. And with that being said, most of their homes will probably sell between 400,000 and 500,000, making it the affordable entry point for this community. Now, Chestmar is gonna be the outlier. Since they aren't quite as far developing, we don't have a final word on like layout yet, but I'm really hoping they follow the successful model of Potranco Oaks and Mesa Western. Those communities absolutely nailed it with larger homes on roughly quarter-acre lots, giving families that perfect balance of spacious interiors and actual yard space to enjoy. If they do elect to follow suit with this style of property, I would anticipate the pricing would probably follow pretty similar to Potranco Oaks, with homes starting in the high 400s, low 500s, with most of their homes selling between 500,000 and 700,000. Location-wise, this community is actually in a pretty prime spot. It's on the far west side of town, kind of near Castroville, off Highway 211 between 90 and Potranco, and you're gonna be just about 30 or so minutes from downtown and still close to major employers like Lackland, the Microsoft data centers, Texas Research Park, and a growing number of hospitals also in the area. And although full amenity details have yet to be released, early planning documents show there's gonna be a bunch of greenbelts, a trail network between different areas, a central park with a playground, and a bunch of different kind of like picnic spots, plus the neighborhood's looking at getting retail, office, and dining spaces. This community will also be a part of Medina Valley ISD, one of the fastest growing school districts in Texas, with a bunch of new schools already in the works, including an elementary school, a middle school, and a high school, all this to help support the expected growth. And the last thing I wanted to talk about regarding this community is gonna be the property taxes. So they are estimated a little high at 2.54%, but that should include a public improvement district for the road improvements along Highway 211, which this should widen up to 4 lanes in the near future. Next, we're featuring Thornebrook, a distinguished luxury acreage community coming to Bulverde on San Antonio's north side. This premier development brings an elevated living experience to one of San Antonio's most desirable locations. Thornebrook is being built on nearly 500 acres of hill country land, and every home site is right around 1 acre. So we're talking space, privacy and a totally different feel than the typical suburban neighborhood. This neighborhood is being developed by Bitter Blue, and they're bringing in David Weekley and Toll Brothers, both known for high-end, well-designed homes. Most of the homes in this neighborhood will range between 3,000 and 5,000 square feet, with David Weekley more than likely giving you the opportunity to build a casita, which you can use as like a guest house or like a pool house. As far as pricing goes, David Weekley is looking at being more of the affordable option, and I say affordable loosely because they're expected to start in the 700,000 to 800,000 range, while Toll Brothers will be well over 900,000 and beyond. Now for the lifestyle. This is going to be a gated community with plans of a 6-acre park, playground, pavilion, and a bunch of miles of trails. They also are looking at nearly 90 acres of preserved green space. So if you're looking for a crazy amenity center, you're probably not going to find that here. But yes, there will be an HOA, and that could range anywhere from $600 to $2,000 per year, really depending on the actual extent of the amenities and if the gate is elected to be guard gated or not. In here, you get all the benefits of living in the hill country while still being only 30 or so minutes from downtown San Antonio and about 5 to 10 from groceries, dining, shopping, all of that at Singing Hills. School-wise for this community, you're going to be in Kamala ISD with Bulverde Elementary School, Spring Branch Middle School, and Smithson Valley High School, all highly rated with an A on niche.com. And property taxes are expected to be better than the San Antonio average, between 1.8 and 1.9%, and Thornebrook doesn't appear to have any improvement districts, which should keep things a little bit more affordable long term. The first phase development is wrapping up soon, with homes probably becoming available later this year, and move-ins likely going to be early next year, 2026. So if you're looking for something brand new, within the trees, with some room to breathe, Thornebrook is definitely one to watch. Now this next neighborhood is something extra special. You have new homes in Boerne that might actually be affordable. The Birch at Spencer Ranch is coming to the east side of Boerne and is being developed by 4-Star, which is basically owned by D.R. Horton, meaning they will likely be the only builder in the neighborhood. They're planning to bring just over 200 single-family homes to the area, all laid out across 3 phases. Homes in this neighborhood will range from 1,600 to 2,300 square feet, mostly between 3 and 4 bedrooms, and most of them having 2-car garages. These are looking to be a part of D.R. Horton's traditional series, so you see a nice balance of affordability and upgraded finishes. Think of smart home features, open layouts, energy efficiency, all the things that you expect in a new home nowadays. Now in terms of pricing, nothing is official yet, but my estimated starting price is going to be in the mid to high 300,000s, with most of their homes likely ending between $400,000 and $450,000, just depending on the size and the options in them. As for the community itself, it's designed with affordability in mind. Probably not any huge amenity center, but they are looking at multiple small parks and greenbelt areas that actually tie into Frederick Creek, which runs right through the neighborhood. Since I don't see a massive amenity center or pool planned, this will help keep the HOA fees lower, likely under $500 a year. But the location is really where this place shines. You're less than a mile off I-10, just a few minutes to HEB, Boerne Lake, and the Hill Country Mile, and all of the Boerne favorites. And for families, you're in Boerne ISD, all A-rated schools on niche.com, plus they are all just a short drive for drop-off and pickup. The first homes are expected to be ready later this year, and the build-out should continue through 2027. So if you're looking for a more affordable way to get into Boerne without giving up location or schools, this is definitely the neighborhood to watch. Trust me, when the community finally starts, they will sell very, very quickly. By the way, as these and other communities continue to develop, we'll make sure to keep you in the loop with videos just like this and model home tours, so subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. Let's go ahead and transition over to the I-35 corridor, where Mont Blanc is coming to Schertz, Texas very, very soon. This boutique neighborhood is being developed by Mustang Oaks, a local developer in San Antonio known for their upscale residential projects. And while we're still in the early stages, Highland Homes is already confirmed as the only builder bringing their luxury floor plans to spacious 70-foot wide lots. Mont Blanc will feature roughly 130 to 150 home sites at full build out, and it looks like it's going to be about 45 acres. They're looking at developing in 2 phases, and the first homes are expected to be ready by late 2025. In fact, I actually got an email the other day from my sales rep, and they're already starting pre-selling for this neighborhood. Now, these aren't your average starter homes. We're talking from 2,600 to nearly 4,000 square foot, 3-bed, 5-bath homes on 70-foot wide lots. They also just released pricing and will be starting in the low 500,000s, but what that really means is homes are looking to be probably between 6 and 700,000, just depending on exactly the options and upgrades that they spec the homes with or that you pick when you build from the ground up. The community will include green spaces, walking paths, and a central park designed to give you that intimate family feel without an overwhelming HOA fee. And speaking of which, those HOA dues are expected to fall between $500 and $800 a year, which honestly is pretty reasonable for a community of this caliber. Mont Blanc is located just a mile off I-35, which puts you roughly 20 minutes from Randolph Air Force Base, 15 minutes from New Braunfels, and about 30 or so minutes from downtown San Antonio. You've also got HEB, Evo Entertainment, Walmart, The Forum, and a bunch of other shopping and dining just minutes away. And for families, the neighborhood is zoned to Church-Cibolo Universal City ISD, which is Cibolo Elementary School, Dobie Junior High, and Steele High School, all highly rated and just a few minutes down the road. It does not appear that this community will have a MUD or a PID tax, and the estimated property tax are going to be around 2.3 to 2.4%, right in line with other Schertz neighborhoods. If you're looking for a quiet upscale neighborhood in Schertz, Texas with easy access to everything, well, Mont Blanc is looking to be a premier option moving forward. All right, now let's dive into what we know about Piedmont, one of the newest upcoming communities in San Antonio's fastest growing northwest side. Located just inside of Loop 1604 near Bandura Road, which by the way is very rare. There's a lot of older homes in this area. Nonetheless, this community is going to be by Brightland Homes and is going to offer the perfect balance of location, schools, and affordability. Now, this isn't going to be a master plan community by any means. Piedmont is expected to have somewhere between 50 and 100 homes, giving it more of that close-knit, private feel while still being minutes away from everything, including HEB, The Rim, La Cantera, and major employers like USAA, Valero, and the medical center here in San Antonio. Homes will range from about 1,600 to 2,400 square feet with 3 to 5 bedrooms and a mix of 1 and 2-story floor plans. While pricing hasn't officially dropped yet, it's expected to start somewhere in the mid to high 300s, with most of their homes selling between $400,000 and $500,000. Brightland Homes is known for building a stylish, energy-efficient home. Think granite or quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances, very open layouts, and covered patios. They also usually have very strong buyer incentives throughout the year. Now, as you look at the amenities, nothing major has been confirmed, but probably not gonna have a big pool or clubhouse based on the size, but we might see like a small pocket park or some green spaces available. The real value in this particular neighborhood is gonna be the location. You're just a few minutes from O.P. Schnabel Park, Eisenhower Park, and all the hiking and biking trails of Leon Creek Greenway. And on top of all the stuff I mentioned earlier, again, just an awesome location. Now let's jump on schools. Piedmont is going to be zoned to Northside ISD, one of the largest and best school districts in the entire city. You're going to have Stubling Elementary, Stinson Middle, and Brandeis High School, which all consistently rank among the top public schools in its area. With this community being in a little bit more of an established area and within city limits, you are gonna have a little bit higher of a tax rate. It's gonna be roughly 2.3%, so something definitely to keep in mind. HOA fees have yet to be finalized yet, but they'll likely land under $500 since there really isn't an amenity center planned, and honestly, I really doubt they put anything more than just a park in. Like I mentioned, Piedmont is in the middle of a bunch of older homes, so it's like a hidden gem. It's close to everything while still having new homes. Certainly a community I would keep my eyes on if you're looking to be in this specific area, and again, do want a new home. Sticking to the west side of town, we have another highly anticipated neighborhood with some amazing luxury builders coming. This is going to be Haby Hills. Located off of Highway 211 between Potranco and Culebra, this neighborhood is perfect for those looking to escape the busyness of the city without sacrificing access to schools, shops, and modern homes. Perry is going to be the leading builder in the neighborhood and is already selling, while Dries Homes is also expected to bring in some semi-custom floor plans soon. The community is definitely still in the early stages, but is expected to be 300 to 400 homes once it's fully built out. You'll find spacious floor plans ranging from 2,100 to over 4,000 square feet with options for 3 to 5 bedrooms on 50 and 60-foot home sites. Currently, we only have prices on Perry just because Dries has yet to start building in the community, community, but Perry is gonna start in the mid to high 400,000s, and they actually, believe it or not, have inventory right now at, I wanna say 459, which is awesome, but most of their homes are probably gonna sell over 500, really between 5 and like 650,000. And while there aren't any major amenities like pools, clubhouses confirmed just yet, what Haby Hills does offer is space, privacy, and seclusion, which is amazing. You're also close to amazing outdoor spots like Government Canyon and the Medina River Natural Area. Both are perfect for hiking, biking, and weekend picnics. This community falls within the Medina Valley ISD, one of the top performing school districts in the region via niche.com. Plus, like I mentioned earlier, this neighborhood will probably be rezoned to the newer schools once they do open. Taxes are going to be 2.4%, which I do believe includes the 211 Public Improvement District for the lane expansions, and the HOA has been registered and confirmed. The fees are looking to be $625 a year. If you're looking for a newer, more private neighborhood, want access to great schools, and are okay with a little bit of a commute to shopping and daily activities, Haby Hill is going to be a great option to keep on your radar. Perry Model Homes should be opening soon, and first move-ins are expected later this year, but depending on when Dries starts, I'm assuming they won't be prepared to start selling until next year. All right, now let's transition and chat about one of the most talked about new communities in New Braunfels. Of course, I'm referring to Mayfair. This is already one of the fastest growing master plan communities in the region, and there's a ton happening right now. But there's even more to come later this year and early 2026 that you should know about. First off, two new builders are joining the lineup, David Weekley and Scott Felder. Both are planning to open their model homes within the next few months, and they'll be building in Mayfair's new section that's right next to the upcoming schools and Fairway Park. David Weekley is looking at offering homes on 40 and 45 foot wide lots ranging from about 1,500 to 3,000 square feet. Scott Felder is looking at having the same product alongside a 35 foot wide rear entry garage that looks to be smaller homes starting just over 1,000 square feet as well. Scott Felder is the only one that has released pricing, and this is for their rear entry lots. It's going to be $200,000, but most of their larger lot homes are going to be between $300,000 and $500,000 for both builders, making these both a great entry point for the neighborhood. Now let's talk about amenities, because Mayfair is about to level up in a huge way. Fairway Park, an 18-acre park at the front of the neighborhood, is now open. It features an 18-hole disc golf course, a bike pump rack, and a full playground with walking trails that connect to the larger trail system throughout the neighborhood. Also on the way is Mayfair Elementary, a brand new Kamal ISD school opening in fall of this year inside the neighborhood. And following just a couple years later is a brand new middle school opening in 2027. So if good schools are a priority on your list, you definitely want to make sure to keep this neighborhood on your radar. But probably the biggest addition to the neighborhood coming very soon is going to be Midtown at Mayfair. It's the town center for the community. Construction just broke ground in April of this year, and it's set for the first phase to be completed by summer of 2026. Phase 1 will include 3 key amenities: the Midtown Swim Club, which is a 2-tier pool featuring separate areas for families and adults. You're also going to have Celebration Hall, an open air pavilion designed to host farmers markets, live music, and other community gatherings, and this is also going to include the Welcome Center Cafe. Eventually, Midtown will also have shops, restaurants, offices, and more, but this is going to be the first phase, and it's going to be game-changing for the community vibe. And beyond that, a brand new Costco's is in the works just outside of Mayfair. So everything from groceries to weekend hot dog runs is about to get a lot easier. So whether you're looking for an affordable new build, access to top schools, or future-forward amenities, Mayfair is shaping up to be one of the most complete new neighborhoods in New Braunfels. Jumping on over to another suburb, Caliza Reserve is going to be one of Bernie's newest and most exclusive communities. If you're after larger homes, big lots, and a true hill country vibe, then this neighborhood is definitely one to watch. The community just opened up in April of this year and has 2 standout builders, Toll Brothers and Chesmar. Both builders are offering minimum half-acre lots in here up to a full acre, which is a big deal if you're looking for space and privacy without living in the middle of nowhere. Now, as far as pricing goes, homes in here start in the upper 800,000s, but most of them will sell into the million range, just depending on the finishes, lot premium, and the actual size. The value for this neighborhood really comes from the lot size, the location, and the exclusivity. This is not a master plan community by any means. It's an intimate, boutique-style community with fewer homes, and that's very intentional. Now, in terms of amenities, it's all about natural luxury. You won't find a giant clubhouse or resort pool. What you will get is trail systems, green belts, and some of the lots have some of the most insane hill country views. Caliza Reserve is designed for people who want to enjoy the outdoors and the opportunities of their own property without the noise of a very packed neighborhood. You'll also be zoned for Boerne ISD, again, one of the highest rated school districts in the San Antonio area. This location also has quick access to the shops at La Cantera and the Rim, plus some of the top dining spots in Boerne and Leon Springs. HOA dues here are gonna be about $175 a quarter, and the estimated tax rate is a 2.33, which honestly is not amazing, but if you're looking for a high-end, low-density community with luxury finishes, large home sites, and the hill country peace and quiet, Caliza Reserve really checks all the boxes. Now, if you're thinking, I love that idea of space and privacy, but I prefer something a little bit more affordable, well, stick around, because next we're heading to Sienna Lakes, where you can still get big homes and even half-acre lots, but the price point is much more approachable and it's in a lot more of a laid-back setting. Sienna Lakes is a brand new community on the far east side of San Antonio that's perfect if you want space, peace, and high-quality homes without leaving town. This neighborhood is all about half-acre lots. Yes, every home in this neighborhood is on a generous half-acre home site, which means bigger backyards, more breathing room, and it's actually situated in an area that feels like you're in the middle of nowhere, but you actually don't sacrifice the convenience of the big city since the proximity is so close. This community has been open for about 2 months or so and is exclusively being built by Chestmar Homes. The crazy thing about this neighborhood is you'll find homes starting in the high 400,000s. Yes, you heard that right. Floor plans here range from 2,300 to 3,900 square feet. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, Quentin, if they start in the high 400s, where will homes actually sell for? And that's an amazing question. Sienna Lakes has already had 2 homes sell for less than 500,000. Mind you, this is not the norm, but most of the homes in this community will sell between 500 and 650,000. Most of the homes will also be between 3 and 5 bedrooms. They'll have game rooms, movie rooms, open layouts, and covered patios. And again, all of them are going to be on oversized home sites. Some of these homes even back up to a pond or a greenbelt, which can add to that calm, scenic vibe that this neighborhood is actually going for. This also is not a massive master plan community. There's only going to be roughly 160 homes total, which keeps that small, kind of intimate vibe that they're going for. The HOA is around $550 a year, and the tax rate is going to be at 2.2%. Since we're outside city limits, you don't have a San Antonio city tax, but we're still close enough for an easy commute downtown. Now, when it comes to amenities, it's more about the natural features than a huge rec center. In this neighborhood, you have walking trails, a huge pond, green spaces, and a bunch of mature trees throughout the whole neighborhood. This neighborhood is actually very peaceful and laid back, and that's by design, which honestly a lot of folks nowadays are looking for. The community is going to be zoned for East Central ISD, which all the schools are honestly a pretty short drive away. Plus, with the location of the community, you're a very quick drive to Randolph Air Force Base, Fort Sam, and all conveniences along Loop 1604 and I-10 East. There are so many more amazing new neighborhoods that are being developed as we speak. What we cover today is just a taste of what's out there. From sprawling acre estates to surprisingly affordable new homes, San Antonio is truly stepping up its game, offering something for just about everyone. So if you're looking for a brand new home in San Antonio, whether it's to purchase now or in the future, I hope this video gave you a bunch of clarity. I'm always here to help you and your family go through all the options, and I genuinely love showing people what makes this city so special. If you have any questions, reach out anytime. All my contact information will be down below, and you can also scan the QR code on screen. Please don't hesitate to reach out so I can be a resource for you and your family. And before you go, don't miss the next video that I've linked here. I break down all the top builders in San Antonio and help you navigate through the new home market. We'll catch you there.